Let's go! Walker Howard film study. We're not wasting any time. Already, look at this dime right between the corner and the safety, and Jack Bech doing Jack Bech things. So we're just going to fly through these first couple of plays, and then we're going to add some extra context to let you know how special Walker Howard truly was. Defensive tackle blows by the left guard. It doesn't matter. Walker Howard rolls out left and throws an absolute dime. We get back here. We're going to add context in just a second, but once again, Walker Howard making a big-time throw. Pass protection wasn't the best. He delivers his football right here, and it is absolutely amazing what this guy was able to do. And let's go ahead and get one more play in here. Walker Howard rolling out to his left. It is ridiculous how good he throws a football rolling out to his left. So now you got 4 plays in you. I'm going to do the boring thing because what I see a lot of times on film studies of players, you just break down the play. And obviously the play is the most important thing. What do the players put on film? However, I like to add context. For those that don't know, this is actually a state championship game against a high school by the name of De La Salle. And St. Thomas More is under a lot of pressure here. This is Walker Howard's going for his first ever obviously state championship. Also, St. Thomas More had never had an undefeated season up to this point, and this is a program that has had a lot of recent history. They had a quarterback in Caleb Holstein who went to Louisiana Tech. They also had Brandon Bergeron, who was a former LSU backup. So, this is a really good program trying to make history. So, let's go ahead and throw this football. Walker Howard right in between these two players here. Now, let's add extra context to this throw. This throw was made with 37 seconds left to go in the first half, and the score, I believe, was 21-14 at this point, or something like that. So this is still a close game, and Walker Howard, deep in his own territory, is throwing the ball to Jack Bech, who actually set a record in this game with over 200 yards, ridiculous stat line. So, obviously, all of that's very important. And when you watch this throw, obviously you get a clean pocket here. But look at this. He fits this ball right between the corner and the safety on a line, hits Jack Bech in stride to where he was able to cut back and make all these crazy Jack Bech cuts. This throw is a throw that obviously a lot of quarterbacks can make, right? He had a clean pocket. He's got an elite receiver to throw to. But he still had to fit that ball in between coverage. But this is where things get really impressive, when you start seeing him make plays off script. One thing you got to remember about St. Thomas More and a lot of these high school programs, you take a look at these offensive lines. While they're decent offensive lines, these aren't big guys. And what we're going to see here is an undersized center get absolutely dominated by a nose tackle and a shade technique, and he's going to swim move. Watch just this right here. Look at the swim move right over the top. Very nicely done. So this pocket is already dead. Okay, our guard whiffs, swim over the top. One of my favorite moves as a pass rusher in that one tech. It's such a difficult block to make. So Walker Howard, who's on, this looks like the old Oakland Raiders field. Not the best of conditions. You see dirt kicking up. So now he's one-on-one against this guy. Okay? And what's funny is this DT actually makes a good change of direction here and is still applying decent pressure on Walker Howard. But I want you to see this throw, okay? You just saw it a second ago. He's rolling out to his left. One thing it just blew me away when watching Walker Howard consistently. His ability to square his body and still throw the football with this much velocity. Look, that is a rocket right into the chest of his receiver. Just look at the demoralization of this sideline after this play. Let's move our little cursor here and just watch him. Oh my God. It's that Walker Howard guy making plays on us. So here we go. We're back to the state championship game. Okay? And something else when we watch this tape, we want to see, do these throws translate to the college level? This obviously is one of the more simple throws, ironically, on Walker Howard. in his tape. Not the best protection. Still overall a clean pocket, soft zone coverage, hits his receiver in stride, and it's 6. So one thing we see is that you can't just let Walker Howard sit back there and cook. Now we get back to this throw. We get our guy rolling out to the left. This time he's throwing on his off foot to Jack Bech. So, still, same thing. Same thing we've seen on these first couple of throws. Walker Howard, if you don't hit him, he's going to deliver a really good football. So, overall, obviously a clean rollout here. Makes that throw look a lot easier. Once again, rolling out to his left. Same thing here. Once again, clean pocket. So, Walker Howard, at the beginning of his highlight tape, something else I really like about him is he gets hype. You could just see he plays with a lot of emotion. He's happy for his guys whenever he delivers them the football. Now, this is fascinating. This is a very interesting play. We're going to go ahead and run it at full speed. We've seen Walker Howard throw with clean pockets, relatively. But now we get to see the little razzle-dazzle here. And a missile. This throw is insane. Insane. But there was a flag for holding. But let's break this down, okay? Let's bring it on back. Okay? So, a few things here. One thing we're going to talk about throughout this Walker Howard film study is we're going to talk about empty. Okay? And what empty means is 5 wide receiver sets. So, no personal protectors. That means that you are trusting these 5 guys to block these 4 guys. And as many of you see here, this is not your normal college offensive line. Now, you can, in high school, have a good offensive line with undersized guys. But we're going up in the state championship game. De La Salle's got some hosses up front. So, Walker Howard knows in this game, and we played some of the audio for you earlier, it's loud, it's boisterous. He's got to ball the freak out. And LSU likes to run empty. 2019, LSU ran a lot of empty. And what empty can do is if your quarterback is immobile, it can cause this formation to give you a lot of issues. And that's the thing. When you run an offense with, say, Miles Brennan or Mac Jones, if you don't have a quarterback who can't, I mean, your protection's got to be great. With Walker Howard, the protection doesn't matter. And you see this here on this play. So this defensive end just blows our offensive tackle just away. Walker Howard probably bailed from the pocket just a little too early here. But then again, once again, this is right before the half, and these guys are playing back. So no underneath routes. So he knows at some point he's probably going to have to buy some time. So I'm a little bit more okay with bailing here. We do get a hold right here, though. But just this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The ability to just make a play such as this one, he pirouettes out, and then from the 30-yard line, throws a bullet right then and there to number 1, but obviously it didn't count. But this is the playmaking ability you want with an LSU quarterback because, you know, we'll touch on this a little bit later. But once again, this throw, we're going to go and run it at full speed one more time. And notice where he is on the field. 30-yard line. He throws a missile between 2 guys right there for a touchdown. This is one of my favorite plays on the Walker Howard tape. If not my favorite throw. Okay? So, here we are. Not an empty. We do have a personal protector, so twins left, twins right, whatever you want to call it. And one thing about St. Thomas More is that their offensive linemen, they don't get in 2-point stances. They all get in 3-point stances, which is pretty interesting in a passing offense, but to each their own. Now, the defense here is in what's called an amoeba front, or coordinators have different names for it. But an amoeba front is when no defensive linemen have their hands on the ground. And what an amoeba front can do is that any one of these guys, these are all fast guys, so these aren't linemen. Any one of these guys can bail out into coverage, or they can rush. Or, of course, what a lot of people like to do out of amoeba fronts is twist linemen, bring delayed blitzes. Sometimes this safety will come down and all these guys will bail, and you could do so many things out of an amoeba front. So if you're Walker Howard, let's actually go through his thought process here. Now, once again, I'm not Walker Howard. I don't know what's going through his mind, but the way that this play processed, it seems as if Walker Howard actually made a really good pre-snap read here. So let's do some simple math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we don't have the end zone camera, so a safety could get blocked right out here. But since we counted 11 guys, this lets us know that Walker Howard pre-snap sees that there's no safeties over here or no safeties over here. And he also sees that this slot corner is lined up closer than obviously some of these other receivers. So what does he know? Well, he knows two things. The first is that obviously his protection could easily break down on this amoeba front. We have 5 guys plus a personal protector, potentially blocking 5, 6, or even 7 guys that could come off the edge here. So the first thing is he knows that he's probably going to be under some kind of pressure here. The second thing is he knows that if he could buy enough time, and because there's no deep safeties over here, he knows if he could buy time, this wide receiver, who he knows obviously is going on a go route. So Walker Howard pre-snap is looking, and he says, look, if I can buy enough time in the pocket, I know for sure that this slot receiver is going to be open. So let's go ahead and break this play down, and boom. So we're right here. We get good protection pickup across the way, except our running back here whiffs our edge rusher here. And then our right guard breaks down in protection here. So Walker Howard sees this really quickly. He sees that he likes his matchup, and they're even with each other. Okay? So at some point, he knows this guy's going to beat this guy in a foot race. So he knows that I just need to buy just a little bit of time to make this throw over the top. Okay? And he steps up into this slot. And what a lot of quarterbacks do in this situation, they'll roll out to the right when they're under a lot of pressure. And you see Walker Howard do that some. But the best thing to do as a quarterback, and obviously quarterback coaches have different opinions on this, is to actually step into the pocket, step into the rush, because there's a few things that can happen. The first is if you step up, who knows, you can find a gap that you can run through for some big yards. Also, if you step up and you just happen to get sacked, you're not going to lose as many yards as if you roll out this way or that way. Plus, if you step up into the pocket, it allows you the ability to throw to both sides of the field. When you roll out to the right or to the left, it kind of cuts the field in half. So Walker Howard decides to run up into this pocket. Brilliant. And here he is. 2 hands on the football. Excellent. So if you swipe at it, you're probably not going to force a fumble. Then he causes this defensive tackle to miss. And then on the run, on his off foot, a little Zach Wilson-esque type of throw. This is what Zach Wilson likes to do. Obviously, Garrett Nussmeier likes to throw on that right foot, on that off foot. He's got a clean area to throw. And he knows all I need to do is throw this ball up, and he gets clobbered. The defender let up. I don't know exactly why. He had a clean shot at him. Thank goodness he did, though. We want Walker Howard healthy. And he throws an absolute dime. And I'm telling you, number one likes to make his catches very acrobatic, and I love that. Make it look more highlight reel worthy. I love it. So you notice that was just a lot of information for a first-year starter to process. Right on the spot. That's not clean at all. Right on the money. How about that? Let's take a look at this play again. So, hopefully I'm right about this. I believe this is, well, at least it looks like QB1 here. And this looks like Jordan Gilbert, and we'll get to Jordan a little bit later in this film study. One thing I see a lot of high schools do now, they run this 3-3 stack. The Mississippi State defense, the Zach Arnett defense. And what happens here is we get one of these backers, the slot backer, coming off the edge here. Okay? Let's go ahead and run it at full speed again. And we got a long, fast defender, and Walker Howard just runs around him like it's nothing. So this guy's coming off the edge hot. Our running back actually does a smart thing here. Picks up interior pressure and leaves the outside guy running free. Okay? And Walker Howard just runs around this guy like it's nothing. And this is a decent, long athlete. Throws on his off foot again. Perfect ball. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So let's add one more piece of context here. Boom! So before we get to this next play, all I ask you to do is like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We do fun deep dives on this channel all the time. Let's go! This is just ridiculous. We get the same thing here. Protection's really good. But just look at the mechanics. 2 hands on the ball, stepping up into the pocket. Probably could have thrown this ball a half second earlier with this guy beating him that deep. But did he need to dive for this? Tell me this. Is this really a diving catch? Maybe. And look at the David Tyree it because he... No, I don't care. You made the catch. You know what's funny? I like a good acrobatic catch. Even if you don't need to dive. Unreal. Unreal. Okay. Let's bring it back. So we get a snap. And guess what? We get good protection across the way. Except our tight end, who was supposed to stay in, gives up way too much interior pressure here. So Walker Howard decides to do one of these spin moves and rolls out to his left. Spins out. The Russell Wilson spin to the left. Nuss does this a lot too. And then look at this. He's rolling out to his left. He knows he's going to get destroyed by this guy if he opens his body up and decides to throw it. So he gets crushed. And look at the yard marker he's at. Getting crushed after rolling out to his left on his own 28-yard line. And this ball is a missile all the way to the opposite 25-yard line. So what is that? 46, 47, 48 yards in the air on a dime. We just couldn't bring it down. Good play by the DB. Right? And then we get a QB draw here. Does that look like a pro-style quarterback to you people? So here we go. No deep safeties. Also, no Mike linebackers over the middle of the field. All right? Really good call here. If you have defensive tackles that are going to be really aggressive, guess what? Ride them upfield, quarterback draw right up the middle. Okay? And you're going to see this here. So we get number 72 here, young Glenn Dorsey right here, with a beautiful spin move. Okay? This helps out your pass protection so much because now for the rest of the game, see, it's 2nd and 10. All right? They're thinking it's a passing down. So this is obviously a perfect time to call a quarterback draw. Okay? Middle of the field wide open. Right? They're playing man coverage underneath. Their heads are turned. Low-key, one thing I would like to know is if this was actually a designed quarterback draw or if Walker Howard just made the decision on his own, hey, the middle of the field's wide open, I'm going to go ahead and run this thing. And, you know, there's a few reasons why I think that could be the case. Normally on these QB draws, you don't, because, you know, it's man coverage, you want all your wide receivers to run outs or goes. All right, so, you know, because his route, number 2, ran over the middle, that draws a DB into the equation here. So I wonder if Walker Howard actually just decided to just do this on his own. Obviously, if you are a part of St. Thomas More, if you are Walker Howard, I'm actually kind of curious to know. And what makes a quarterback draw so important is, obviously you don't get that with Miles Brennan. We'll see how Max Johnson does on QB draws. But Joe Burrow was a QB draw assassin. Look at the Clemson game. 29-yard call from Steve Ensminger, 3rd and 10, 21 seconds left to go in the first half. Gutsy call, it worked. We also scored on a quarterback draw against Clemson, and then a big one against Auburn. So here we go. We're back to the state championship game. Boom. And I believe, what makes this throw so special, it obviously is a very easy throw. I think, if I remember correctly, this was the throw that won them the state championship. And this is what you can't do against Walker Howard. This is just such an easy pre-snap read. You notice there's no one near the line of scrimmage. He knows it's a 4-man rush. Okay. Switches up to protection here. Play action. And we just have a coverage bust here. Obviously, it's an easy throw. Touchdown. Coverage bust. And they went for 2 and they got it. And I believe that was the game-winning throw there. It's going to get one more of these state championship game throws. We got the flea flicker. Once again, our guy number 1 is going to make those catches look acrobatic, baby. Let's go. And let's get this one in. This throw is boom. This next Walker Howard completion is Patrick Mahomesian, and we're going to save it for our next video. So this is just part 1 of our Walker Howard film study. I would, though, recommend you check out our Jake Johnson and Walker Howard study if you just want more Walker content right now, okay? It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! Oh, we're doing tacos tonight. Let's go!